Bay. Anyway, so Jordan Love was doing a youth camp in Green Bay, wherever it was. I'm gonna play this video and then we'll talk about it.
This is him.
Brian Goodickin says he hopes to have a contract extension done with you before the start of camp. Do you wish the same?
Sorry, no.
All right.
News to come.
News to come. Jordan Love, but they say news to come. All right. So I asked you, Wes, because you will present that news to come at some point. But
Hopefully.
do you know that news now and want to break it on this particular low-level show?
Actually, here's the contract right here. You can see his name, the J Hart, next to it.
Tell me something, Wes.
I'm going to answer your question quite literally. When will Jordan Love deal get done? When you least expect it, is what I always say to this. Now, you're going to say, well, we are expecting it, but people think there's going to be a buildup on this. People think, oh, it's going to be, hey, we're going to hear about the different stages. No. When it's done, it's done. If I've covered the Packers now for 13 years, I covered 3 Aaron Rodgers contract extensions, one of which happened during the 2013 NFL draft. Did not expect it at all, even though at that time it was the same type of thing where people are like, well, he's going to get it. Just when is it going to happen? I think Jordan is one of the coolest customers that you're ever going to come across, both on the field and off the field. His representation, the relationships that they have. I know Brian has spoken on this offseason already. They do want to get something done. When will it happen? I don't know. I'm sure it's going to continue to be a big topic throughout training camp because Jordan appears to be a franchise cornerstone quarterback. You want to take care of that person. It matters to have a quarterback that your fan base and your team believes in. The Packers have that person now in Jordan Love. So they want to reward him for that. They want to reward him for what happened the second half of last season. Date, time, all of that stuff. When does it go down? There's people upstairs that know that stuff and where that all stands. But what I will tell you is at some point, it's going to happen. It's just a matter of when, where, and everything else that comes along with that.
So, like, what's holding it up? All right. So, like, what goes into a contract?
Well, money, Matt.
You know contract stuff, right? So, like, obviously the Packers want Jordan Love, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they've told him that we like you. We're friends, right? Jordan Love's like, hey,
you want to go steady?
I like you too. We're friends. I like you too. We're having a good time.
Yeah.
So, like, during a negotiation, like, what? Like, obviously, you're not in the negotiations. I'm not asking you, like, to give me some, like...
I would love to be if someone was...
Yeah, they're not like... They're like, hey, we can't start yet. Wes isn't here. I think he's doing a stupid Instagram reel. But, but like, what holds it up? Is it, like, long-term? Like, in your opinion, like, obviously, you don't know the details. But, like, what could... Because both sides want to get it done, right?
Yeah.
First of all, Jordan Love deserves the money. He waited. He did the right thing. He was behind Aaron Rodgers. He didn't talk. He didn't get, he didn't show any anger that he might have even had. He might have had at certain times with Aaron Rodgers. Like, Aaron Rodgers gone. No, he's not. New contract. At some point, Jordan Love might have been a little frisky, but he never showed it. Aaron Rodgers did the same thing behind Brett Favre. Like, they're like, on the backup, this is what I do. But, like, what kind of holds these things up? Because, like, they've been negotiating for a little while, haven't they?
Yeah. The first thing I want to say just about Jordan is I don't know if the guy is – I don't know if he's had a single miss in terms of how he's handled himself since the day he walked in the building. He said all the right things. He acted the right way. The relationship that him and Rodgers formed, the friendship that they formed, I think speaks to both of those guys, and especially from Jordan's personality. I mean, he understood his role, and then when his time came, he jumped into that seat to be able to lead this football team. What holds these things up is the fact that it's the most important position in the game. I mean, so much of this is about projection and it's about production. And right now, you have one full season to look at with Jordan, very promising, but you have to see what else is coming with that. And I think with this position and the way the salaries have gone and trying to figure out where all these things are going to fit, and now we're over $50 million a year. You have the Trevor Lawrence deal go down, and there's certain numbers that get thrown out with that I think some people don't really recognize. Well, he had 2 years left on his deal, and he's actually going to play next year for like a 17 million salary cap number. I mean, like, there's so many different levels to this, but I think at the end of the day, the Packers will do right by Jordan. Jordan's going to get everything he deserves, and
Yeah.
just being able to have that security for him and then being able to push this thing forward. They showed a lot of faith in one another last year when they did that extension. They didn't do the 5th-year option. They went with a 1-year extension on his last year of his contract, which got Jordan some guaranteed money up front. And it also gave the Packers some of this leeway that they can use now without having to be locked into the 5th-year option, which is now fully guaranteed for skill. I think some people forget that now. If you pick up a player's 5th-year option, like there was that consternation about Eric Stokes, well, that's guaranteed for both injury and skill. They're owed that money in the 5th year. That's on your books now. So you have to be careful with that. They made a mature decision last year with Jordan Love. I think it'll happen again. And Russ Ball is one of the best in the business at being able to make all those things fit. They've done a ton of these contracts with a 4-time MVP. I think it's just, again, it's only a matter of time. But deadline spur action. And at this time, Jordan has 1 year left on his deal, and I'm sure that's a part of this thing too.